Welcome back to Retro Rewire. My name is JJ. We're at Oyama Tochigi visiting the Surugaya store that they have up there. Great, this is a great store actually, and we're just gonna have a quick overview of kind of like the store layout, and we'll dig into the details as we go. And there's about like 6-7 aisles just full of like video games, and that includes, you know, both the retro, the modern, the common, and the rare. And you know, they kind of split things up across like 3 to 4 display cases. And this episode is going to be more hardware based, but let's go ahead and have a look at a few I guess Nintendo goods. You know, we have like these Game Boy Colors, the Game Boy, the PSP just kind of hanging out on the end cap. I believe that's a DS there, that Pokemon one, and then we have a Game Boy Advance for 8,000. Kind of interesting to see them just hanging around on the end cap here. And then we have quite a bit of amiibos. And then this is, let's go ahead and look at some software. You know, we'll take a look at Nintendo 3DS, Wii U, as well as Switch, and then we'll head over to the hardware, the good stuff. But the 3DS, man, Star Fox 64 3D coming in at 1,600. That's a great game. And next to that, we have Tekken 3D Prime Edition, which I would actually really like to try that one out. And then we have Dragon's Something here. Now the cover just kind of caught my attention. This could be good, I don't know. Kind of a funny, goofy looking cover there. Then we have this baseball game that started life on the Famicom, I believe. That's a long-running series by Namco. And just all sorts of 3DS titles. You know, some of them are actually not quite so cheap, and some of them are. A little bit of everything there. You know, we have our Wii U, and GameCube. Bit of GameCube down there, always nice to see. And then another end cap full of like all sorts of little knickknacks, hardware and cables. I always like looking here because you never know what you will find. And then right back to the beginning, we see the Nintendo Switch titles, which I wonder if there's a demand for like the Japanese version. I know there's a few titles that do get physical releases here, but they don't elsewhere. But you know, a lot of the stuff I buy, I just end up buying the Japanese edition. But I always make sure that to see if it has English, and usually with like the first party stuff, it always has like the English language options, as well as like sometimes Spanish, Portuguese, and other languages. All sorts of good stuff here, and you could spend hours just browsing through it all. But let's go ahead and look at our first display case. Now this one, as you can see, is going to be really focused on Sony hardware. From the Vita, PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 5, and a few Xboxes, which we'll have a closer look at it all. We have this Pulse 3D wireless headset. I actually haven't seen this one, and I do like to game with headphones late at night if I'm up gaming. And then we have the PlayStation Vita memory cards, 9,900 yen for the 64 gig version there. And then we have a PlayStation 4 Pro model. And then we have like your standard slim model there. Now I think there's an issue going on with that Pro model. That's why it's discounted. Or maybe that was like the first iteration of the PS4, which was a bit bulkier. Then up top we have some PlayStation Vitas. We'll have a closer look at those. And then we have the PSP. And then one of those is coming in at 24,800 yen, a Final Fantasy themed one, which I actually haven't seen before. And then we got a little Sega Saturn phone charger, I believe is what that is. Yeah, what is that? The 10th anniversary for the PSP there. And then up above, we have like a portable screen there. Hard to tell which system that was for because of the glare. But then we have a PlayStation VR, a couple of headsets. And then this is the other end. And I just want to thank the management and staff for allowing me to film here. A big thank you to all of you. Really appreciate it. And then we have the Taito Arcade Egret 2 Mini. I would like to pick up one of those, but they're kind of pricey and not a priority at the moment. But look at here, PlayStation 5. We have the digital and disc editions coming in at 73,800 yen. These are still kind of a pain in the butt to get here in Japan, usually lottery based. But if you're desperate for one, if you really want one, up in Oyama Tochigi, they got you covered. Which eventually I'm gonna get one of these, but thank goodness I'm not in any hurry to actually acquire one. We got the Retro Freak, but behind that we have the Xbox One X. Now, I actually ended up picking up a Scorpio edition last year, and I actually got it at a Surugaya out in Akihabara. Scorpio edition. That was actually a nice pickup. And we have a limited edition controller there. Kind of cool looking, that one. And a few more controllers we got DualShock 4s. And even some PlayStation 5 controllers back there. And we have the Mega Drive Mini. Now, this is still kind of pricey here in Japan. Maybe it was like a limited production run, I'm not sure. But all sorts of accessories here for the PlayStation 5 as well. And then we have the PlayStation Move gun accessory there for 3,500. I don't really come across that one too often. And then more PlayStation Vitas. One of those is coming in at 30,000 yen. It must be some kind of limited edition. But I would like to pick up one of these 2000 models sometime in the near future. But anyhow, let's go ahead and switch over and take a look at some retro goods. We got this one. This is something I might want. And we got some more hardware in here. All sorts of cool stuff. Like this Mega Drive 2 here coming in at 8,000 yen. That's cool. Also, what do we have? We have, kind of hard to take out, but this is a PC Engine Duo. Which, if you've been watching the channel, you know about that. Then we have some boxed Mega Drive 2s. We got some Sega Dreamcast. How much is the Dreamcast coming in at? Gotta be careful here because everything is stacked. 6,800 for this one here. And this one is coming in at 8,000. So not too bad of a deal there for boxed Dreamcast. We got a GameCube. We got some loose Sega Saturns coming in at 6,000 yen, and then a whole bunch of PlayStation 4. But then even in some of these bins, look at that. A top loader NES, 2 controllers, 9,500 yen. And this one actually is equipped with the AV out composite. In America, it's just RF signal, so definitely cool to see that there. And then what else do we have here? We have here the boxed Sega Saturns, and it looks like there's 6 of them. This one's coming in at 9,000. This is a kind of a special one, which is the Christmas Nights edition. Not sure how much, 14,800 yen. This is a kind of a cool looking box. And then of course we have the original. Look at that, 9,500 yen. It's always nice to see all these boxed units. And then here we have 4 PS1s coming in with the Saturn on top. Let's see, let me pull one of these out. Oh, look at this, 3,700 yen. And this is the 5,000 model. See, in America, usually you would see pictures of the games in the back, but here it's kind of interesting because you're just seeing instructions on how to hook it up. But very nice. And then a PlayStation 3 Fat, and then a couple of arcade sticks. All right, now let's go ahead and switch gears once again, and we're going to take a look at the other display case, which is more focused on the Nintendo hardware side of things. And there's actually all sorts of little knickknacks down here. You know, we have like these USB 2.0 memory sticks here that are Pokemon themed. Don't really see those often. And then we have a few clone consoles. We have the 8-bit compact version 2, a Game Boy Advance there in the box for 7,000 yen. Has a little message there. I'm not really sure. I can't really make out what it says at the moment. And then we have this Game Boy, these little headphones that are Game Boy themed. That's kind of cool actually for 2,178 yen. And then just all sorts of little handhelds and accessories for the Switch, 3DS. Look at that, you could even connect your keyboard up to the Switch. Hori makes quite a bit of accessories actually. And a lot of clone consoles. And then we have the Nintendo Switch Lite. I actually haven't messed around with the Lite version, and it's not something that really calls my attention just because, you know, I have the standard one. But look at all these OLED models. Now the OLED model is actually fairly easy to get in comparison to the PS5. And then more clone consoles up here. The 8-bit compact HDMI. I wonder if those are any good. And then we have our little Ring Fit here for 3,100 yen. And then up above we have a GameCube, a couple of Famicom AV units, as well as the original. Now those AV units are coming in at 11,800 yen. And I believe the other one is a little bit less. Yeah, 7,800 yen. But I believe this one is yellowing, and it could be missing a controller. And then we have the OG 360 there, and a couple of music controllers, as well as a Wii balance board. Man, those controllers are freaking massive. Look at that. And then kind of next to that is where we have our Wii U systems. And the Wii U is actually fairly cheap in Japan, usually ranging between 4,000 and 6,000 yen. And then we have more Switch goodness. They even have the train controller. Wow. And this is kind of an interesting little controller here. This one coming in at 4,000 yen. I know it's for the Switch, but I think that actually connects to the actual unit itself. And then we have this little, I think that's for the Ring Fit, the little Joy-Con holder. But yeah, this one just attaches, you detach your Joy-Cons, and in its place you attach these. Which could, that could be more comfortable, especially if you're more about handheld mode. But about 30,000 yen seems to be the average price for your standard unit, and 37 for the OLED unit. And we have some limited editions up here. And then here, let's just have a quick look at the other areas of the store. Now this is just kind of sped up, but as you can see, they have manga. What else do they have? Like little trinkets and just aisles and aisles of figures. And this is where they keep all like the Ichiban Kuji prize figures, your limited edition figures, amongst other little rarities. They just have so much of this stuff. So, if you're into collecting these kinds of items, products, this is the place to hit up. And it's usually the same at all surugayas. They have all sorts of this stuff. And then this section is just kind of like the Ichiban Kuji prize. You buy a little ticket, and you better hope you get the top prize. I've actually played a few of these. Kind of fun every now and then. But just all sorts of them, and you could actually spend quite a bit of time just looking at everything that they have. But anyhow, let's go ahead and take a look at a sneak peek at the next episode. And this one's going to be more software based. We're going to take a look at the retro display case, as well as the retro gaming aisles. So keep a lookout for that. Once again, my name is JJ. Thank you for watching Retro Rewire. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't, definitely subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao.